Very good morning, class. Today we are going to learn a new chapter, The Snake in the Mirror, or you could say The Snake and the Mirror. This is a very humorous story. So basically, this story is in a narrative form, within a narrative form. Because the story is narrated by a doctor to a person, that person is again narrating the same story to you all. So this story is written by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir, which was in Malayalam originally, and it was again translated by V. Abdullah into English. So before the story task, the writer tells us the story which was told by him by a homeopathic doctor. If you see the title, The Snake and the Mirror are the two most important thing in the story. This homeopathic doctor who encountered a snake fell on the doctor. When the snake saw its reflection in the mirror, it was more interested in the mirror seeing its own reflection than the doctor. So hence the doctor's life was actually saved by it. So let's get into the story. A pure homeopathy doctor is the narrator of the story. He lived in a house where there was no electricity and was full of rats. One summer night, he returned home late. Feeling suffocation, he opened the window. Now, what happens one fine day? The homeopathic doctor, as I told you, he is narrating. This is the homeopathy doctor who is narrating the story. So while he is narrating the story, he is sitting in a group front of a group of people, or you could say the audience. So he asked the audience, or you could say the writer, if anyone had been wrapped by a cobra snake. Okay, so here the writer or the audience become very silent, hearing the name of snake itself. While he is narrating the story and he immediately addresses the name of a snake, the audience becomes very fear that grabbed by a cobra snake. That's really fearful. Then the doctor says that starts the story with like this something. It was a hot summer night, almost 10 o'clock. As he was returning home after having his dinner at the restaurant, and as the doctor opened the door of his room, he heard a noise from above. But he did not react because he was used to such noise. So you could immediately understand how the description of his noise is. You just saw that his house was full of rats. So he immediately understood that these are the noise of the rats who are jumping from here and there. Because there are many rats in his home and they make a lot of noises. And as there was no electricity, there was no light in the doctor's room. So he lighted the kerosene lamp. You know what is a kerosene lamp, right? Yeah, this one. He lit up a kerosene lamp which was used in olden days when there was no electricity. He had taken a small room on rent in this area. Then he lit up a kerosene lamp and sat on a chair in front of the large mirror and took a medical book to study. He could not concentrate as the weather was hot. While looking at the mirror, he made two plans. To look more handsome, he will shave daily and he would keep a smile on his face. Now, as the doctor had just started his medical practice, he was earning very less. So he was not able to afford a luxury home or a good home. So that is why he rented a small room and he was living in such a shabby and dirty condition. He tells the audience or the writer that he had just 60 rupees in his bag. That is how he must used to earn for daily basis. Further, he also tells the audience that he had some shirts and dhotis to wear, very minimal clothes to wear. He also had a black colored coat which he used to wear occasionally, and that time he was actually wearing that coat at the time of that incident which took place at that night. So here the whole description of the author's house, the whole character sketch of the author is being described here. Now, when he reaches home, he removes his coat, his shirts, and vest. He says that his vest was not so white, means it was very dirty. Vest is nothing means just the petticoat or the banyan which you wear inside your t-shirts or shirts or any dress. Okay, below any dress. So he exclaims that it was in a very dirty condition. It was not even open. So here the condition of the author is being openly described as to what condition he was living in and what was his living style. He was not even able to afford few proper clothes for him. As soon as he got into the home, as it was a very hot season, very hot weather, he opened the windows. The room which he had taken for rent was outside the house. Okay, and you could say a guest house or a garden house which was located outside the house. It was just a single room house, and one of the wall of the room was facing the garden. The roof had tiles on it, and the gable was supported by the beam inside the room. There was no roof at all. The beam on which the gable was supported was full of rats which went out in the room through it. Now, this here is the description of the house. I'll show you what you mean by. You could see this is a gable of any house. The triangular shape is known as a gable. Okay, so he tells that the whole condition of the room was so bad and the furnishing was so bad, the condition of the infrastructure was so bad that the whole gable, the whole ceiling, everything was filled with rats itself. Everywhere what he could find is full of rats who went in, out, through it, everywhere. Okay, now as he sat on the bed near the wall, he laid down to sleep, but he couldn't sleep. But what did he couldn't sleep. Why? Because of the very hot condition. It seemed that the wind god had almost taken away all the breeze from the wind, all the coldness from the wind. It was such a hot weather at that time, and also it was a holiday the next day. So he had gone out to take some fresh air because it was very suffocating inside the room, and as he didn't have any electricity, he had no fan or cooler or nothing in his room, so obviously he would feel really hot in such a hot weather as well. After taking some fresh air, he again come back to his room and sat on his chair, and he opens one of his box under the table and took out a book named Materia Medica. The book name was Materia Medica, which was a medical book. He kept on the same table on which the lamp mirror or the lantern was kept. He opened his book and sat down reading. As he was sitting in front of the mirror, he looked at his image in the mirror, and he says that he was a great admirer of beauty. He loved beauty, but due to his poor condition, he was not able to look after himself very good. As he was also very young and he was a bit handsome, he liked to appreciate beautiful things, and he also wanted to improve his look. But I said because of his poor condition, he wasn't able to achieve it. So what he does, he wanted people to make him to know him better, or to understand that he was a good person, and to understand that he was beautiful. He wanted to attract people. So while he was admiring his face in mirror, he combs his hair nicely to set them properly, and while combing his hair, he again decides something, that he, to make his face more beautiful, he would now onwards shave regularly and grow a thin mustache, because he thought that he would look better and handsome if he had a little thin mustache on his upper lips. So now again he repeats the narrator that he was not married and was a doctor too. So we here come to know that he was basically a bachelor. He was not married, he was young, he was good looking, but due to his poor condition, he was not able to afford all the good things. So he wanted to say that he wanted to look very handsome to the audience. Now, so he decides two things. One thing, that he will shave every day, and the second thing, he would always keep an attractive smile on his face, because he looked better when he smiled. Here the doctor was being very ironic, if you notice, because when he said that to keep smiling with an earth is a very shaking decision, the line which is states here, the doctor was being very ironic. Sorry, the line which he states here, to keep smiling was an shaking decision, was an ironic element in the chapter. Secondly, he plans to marry a fat lady doctor with plenty of money. Suddenly there was a sound of thud and the rat stopped making noise. The doctor turned black to see what had happened. He found a snake on his shoulder. Now, after admiring himself for a long time, he got up from his chair and started walking up and down in the room. And then he decides on one more thing. He decides to marry a woman doctor, one who had lots of money and a good medical practice. Further, the doctor also adds that he would marry a fat girl. Why? For that, a logical reason he has. He reasons that if sometimes he makes some mistake and his wife chases him in anger to hit him, she will not be able to run fast and catch him. See how, what humorous and stupid way he thinks. The only reason why he wants to marry a fat woman, because if he makes a mistake, her wife would not be able to run behind her very quickly to beat him. Thinking all these things, the doctor again sat down on the chair. Now the sound had stopped, but all of a sudden something fell down, making the sound of a thud. Thud is a kind of sound, when something from a very huge top from a ceiling suddenly falls on a surface and you get thud kind of sound. That is a thud sound. It felt like some rubber tube had fallen, and the doctor did not bothered about it. Something had actually fallen, but he was not landed on his shoulder, something which was something very rubbery. But the doctor was so used to the rat sound and the mishaps happening in and around, he was not even bothered that what was hanging or what had fallen on his neck. But as soon as he turned, after some time, he saw a big fat snake had crawled over the chair and sat on his shoulder. The timing of the doctor's turning around and the snake's landing on his shoulder was almost same. You could see that as the doctor turned his face toward the left, the snake also turned his face towards the doctor's face. They were facing each other almost with an eye contact. Before he could do anything, the venomous creature had coiled itself around its left arm. The doctor tried his best to hold his breath and become like stone, as he knew even a slight movement may kill him. Obviously, what anyone would do in such a situation. Imagine if you are being caught up with a snake coiled in your neck, what will happen? Automatically you will stop breathing. Your heart gets slow down to beat because of the panic situation. But here, the doctor did not panic, or he did not tremble. He did not even shiver and scream, because it happened so fastly that he did not get any time to react itself. Now the snake moved slowly in such a way that it wrapped itself completely on the doctor's left arm like a coil in circular motion. It was in such a position that the 3-4 inches, it was only 3-4 inches away from the face. It would have been moved slightly, the snake could have bitten him. Such a scary situation it was. The doctor was praying for the Almighty's blessing to get rid of the situation. It appeared to him that his left arm was getting crushed under the pressure of venomous snake. His mental and physical strength was drained off. He labeled himself as stupid fellow and smiled himself. Now, the doctor, as I said you, he says that he was not only holding his breath but had turned into a stone, just like a statue. Although physically he was still like a statue, but his mind was very active. He was thinking what to be done next. Now there was complete darkness all around. As you know, there was no electricity. Outside the room, inside the room, it was completely dark as it was night time. There was only single light, which was the light of lamp, and that light was sitting like a statue. As he was in trouble, he started feeling the presence of God. It's very normal when human gets into trouble. When we are in phase, we always start reading, reciting Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, or Quran, or all the holy prayers. It automatically comes out of your mouth because of the fear. Because when man gets into trouble, only the trustworthy person he can think of is of God. So even here, the doctor, he also starts feeling the presence of God. He was not able to do anything. So he started thinking of God, and he decided not to speak, not even utter a word, so that the snake shouldn't get angry. In his heart, the doctor was praying to God to save his life. As the snake coiled itself, it wrapped itself around his arm. It was experiencing a lot of pain. You know how big a cobra is. Must have seen a cobra, and you could see how thick in its body. And the weight of cobra is really huge. So when it was coiling around the left arm of the narrator was experiencing a lot of pain. He was feeling as if a thick molten rod has made head. It was crushing his arm and was breaking his each and every bone of his left arm. But he was helpless. He couldn't do anything to save himself. While sitting breathless like a stone and thinking of his own consequences, the doctor saw suddenly the snake turns its hood towards the mirror. Then it uncoiled itself from the doctor's arm and crept on the table. It moved towards the mirror. Now he knew if he moved a bit, the snake would attack him. Now this death was very near to him, almost in front of him. He was sitting in a distance of 4 inches from the snake. He thought if the snake bit him, then what would he do? Which medicine he would take, and which recall that there was no medicine in his room also, if even the snake bits. He felt that he was so poor, foolish, and a stupid doctor that he didn't even keep a first aid kit at his home. Even a normal family keeps a first aid kit, but this doctor didn't have any such medicines, knowing that he was living in a place where any could encounter at any time. He was feeling very weak, and he did not have any way to come out of this situation. He smiled at his foolishness. But the doctor felt that God appreciated the doctor's realization of his mistake, because something really favorable went on with him. What? The snake moved its head from the other side and saw the mirror. The snake in the mirror saw its own reflection, and its whole mind, his own attention, got diverted into the mirror. Now it was not possible that any snake had ever looked in itself into the mirror before. But yes, the snake was looking at itself in the mirror, and the doctor was surprised because the snake was looking itself in the mirror very carefully and very admirably, as if he has seen something really beautiful and something very attracting. So we'll stop this lecture for the part 1 over here, and the part 2 as to what happens next with the doctor, and did he really get rid of the snake, or he is bitten by the snake. The story will be continued in the part 2.